few inches later.
Hey y'all, I feel like we have not just sat and caught up in such a long time. I was actually looking back at all my June video uploads and I was like, oh. But let me tell you, July is gonna be jam-packed, and I'm actually today gonna be sitting down and working on kind of scheduling out the videos for July. If you felt like June was lacking a little, because I know I did, July, jam-packed. Not sure what August and September are gonna look like, but July.
Be prepared for sensational news.
Anywho, so the main thing that sparked me wanting to hop on here and just chit chat with y'all was I was taking Jinx out on a walk, and my neighborhood is like littered with little free libraries. I swear you throw a rock and you're hitting a little free library. So we were just walking down to one of the ones that's closest to me, and look what I found. This is why I love little free libraries, y'all. Brand new edition of Divine Rivals, and I've been like debating on getting this. Personally, I'm not a fan of the US covers. Oddly enough, I actually really like the UK covers, even though they're like illustrated people on them. I just kept humming and hawing over buying the UK editions from Blackwell's. So seeing this, I was like, perfect. You know what? I'm getting this literally for free. Worst case scenario, I don't like it and I can drop it off at another free little library. Best case scenario, I love it. I buy the UK covers and I still drop it off at a free little library. But Divine Rivals aside, I'm not going to be reading that anytime soon. I was just really excited when I saw it in my little free library. The girls are, you know, anytime I'm doing anything, they must be like 2 feet away from me. At least when I'm talking. I could be just sitting here editing a video and they would be nowhere in sight, but the second I start like talking, it's like, oh, we gotta be right by you, mom. I do have a question. So all of my reading vlogs, I always have like the caveat of like there's probably gonna be spoilers in it because it's just my true and genuine reaction. Do you guys like that? With that like component, I do try to make sure that I have chapter markers for the specific book I'm talking about so that you guys can skip it if there's a book that you're interested in. But I don't know, I'm always so hesitant to be like, oh, this is a vlog full of spoilers, or it's not a vlog full of spoilers, or like, do you guys like spoil? I personally I love spoilers. And again, I'm the type of person, like if someone starts talking about a book that I'm interested in reading, I'll just like skip that section personally. I'm just curious how you guys feel about spoilers. Let me know in the comments down below.
(8:01 p.m.) Tomorrow for sure.
We are kicking off this vlog with a trip to IKEA because there is one more bookshelf I need to get. I got my 2 tall boys and now I need my little short boy to put my TV on. I have to figure out something with the rug. I'll show you the rug later and what the problem is with it. And maybe we can like brainstorm together on how to fix it. But to IKEA I go. It's also stupid hot out today, so that's fun. So I just purchased an exorbitant amount of food. So we gotta get this home because I did get some Swedish meatballs. Even though, to be quite honest, IKEA Swedish meatballs just don't really do it for me. But, you know, you go to IKEA, you gotta get the Swedish meatballs. And also, how cute is this freaking dollar horse coat? Clearly I needed it. And it has a little internal pocket, so that just sealed the deal when I saw the internal pocket. And they were on sale for, I think, like just under $2. So obvious addition to my tote collection. This is the second time I've gone to IKEA this year, and I don't know what it is, but apparently I just choose to go to IKEA on like the hottest days. It's like just over 80 degrees outside currently. The last time I went, it was over 80 degrees. And we've had like a pretty mild summer so far in Minnesota, like 70s, perfect summer weather. But every time I go to IKEA, I'm like sweating my booty hole off. First and foremost, because I'm lifting heavy stuff. But secondly, because it's always hot. It's always hot. So I'm going to go home. I turned on the AC right before I left. So I'm going to go home, chill in the AC, and read some books. That's the plan of attack. Look at this. Look at this. Every bag I bring into the house, they must sniff. They must sniff the contents of literally everything that's brought into this house. So, just got back from IKEA, put on a little pimple patch because I have a gnarly pimple forming here. Love that for me. I brought everything up in one go, like bookshelf and all. So I got a Billy bookshelf to match my bookshelves that I just put up a month or two ago. I think it's been like a month now. And I had two smaller bookshelves that one, the top is just completely water damaged, so I'm gonna be tossing that one. And then the other is actually really nice, but it's not big enough to hold, like my TV is literally on it by like the tips of its toes. So first off, I wanted a bookcase to match my new bookcases, but also I just want one smaller bookcase. The one I currently have just isn't wide enough to hold my TV. So I will not be doing that today because it's just so hot today and I kind of want to just like lay out in the sun and read a little bit. But I wanted to show you guys what I got from IKEA. First and foremost, I may have gone a little crazy on the dollar horse bags and bought a whole handful, but I have an idea for them. So these aren't all for me. So stinking cute. I love the dollar horse design. I get that from my great grandma. Her family is from Sweden, so she loved a dollar horse. So if you've ever seen the dollar horse figurine on my desk, I got that at the Swedish Institute of Arts. Is that what it's called? Anyways, there's a Swedish place in Minneapolis, and they have a little gift shop. So I purchased a hand-carved, hand-painted dollar horse from there, and they're not cheap. I do not have a very large dollar horse, and let's just say it was over $200. But I love it so much. I've always wanted like an actual genuine dollar horse, so I was willing to pay the price. With this tote bag, it also has a little pocket in it, so I thought that was a nice little touch. I love when like just a basic tote bag like this has just a little place that you can throw like your keys or your wallet or something so it doesn't get stuck at the bottom of the bag. I also, actually not obviously, but I go to IKEA frequently enough that when I go to IKEA, I don't always go to like the grocery marketplace. Also, I find that their market has just like gone downhill. The IKEA food market used to be so good, like S tier, amazing, phenomenal, had the greatest stuff. And I was saying like the past 5 years, it's gone downhill drastically. Anyways, so I got these pastries with almond paste doodads. I thought they would be similar to the princess tortas that they used to, the princess tortas. They had these little cakes called princess tortas and they were amazing. And their whole thing was that they had almond paste in them. I'm pretty sure they're at least almond cakes or something. They were almond something. They obviously aren't similar in design, but I was thinking like maybe they'd be similar in taste a little bit. Not even close. These are actually kind of gross and I'm kind of like upset that I got 2 of them. Then I got some coffers, which I got the cookie and raspberry and then the cookie with chocolate. I got some mashed potatoes. I'm intrigued to try these, actually. I've never got mashed potatoes from IKEA. The instructions on the back are literally just like 9 minutes in a pot. Is the pot boiling? How much water do you add? It's just, do you add water? I don't know. Just 9 minutes in the pot. I also got, oh my God, these noodles, these pasta noodles. They have little mousses. Little mises. So I needed some little Bullwinkle noodles, obviously. I got some lingonberry sauce, got some mixture for gravy, and then of course, the iconic Swedish meatballs. So that is what I got from IKEA, y'all. Yeah, that's what I got from IKEA, isn't it? Yeah, and I'm gonna put that all away so the girls stop sniffing it. And then I'm going to do some reading. Oh, I have a long weekend. Today's July 3rd. So I took the 3rd, I have the 4th off, I took the 5th off. So nice just have like 5 days in a row of whatever the heck I want to do. Well, my issue currently with my rug is that I keep getting these little ripples and it drives me absolutely bonkers. Like, it shouldn't drive me as nuts as it does, but it really does. And it's predominantly towards like the edge of the rug. And one of two things. I can either, I'm thinking like when I set up my bookcase, I can like push the rug as like close and tight to the edge of the wall as possible, because it literally goes wall to wall from my desk wall to my bookcase wall. Otherwise, this is a ruggable rug, so technically you're supposed to have a rug pad underneath the rug, and I didn't buy the rug pad because it made the rug like, I don't know, $100 more. I can't remember how much more, but it made it substantially more expensive. And I thought, well, because I'm putting the rug on carpet, I don't need like a rug pad underneath it. Apparently I was wrong. Apparently I think I do need a rug pad, because technically if you have the rug pad, then it would fill up the inside of the rug. But did find a fairly inexpensive rug pad for the size of my rug on Amazon. So I might do that route if kind of like spreading it out with the furniture that's on top doesn't work. My only qualm with that route is that then I would have to pretty much take my whole office apart to set it up. Like, I would have to move my bookshelves, move my desk, move everything for the rug. I'm hoping that I'm able to kind of just spread it out evenly and get rid of the little wrinkles just by moving furniture around. But I have a slight hunch that I'm gonna need a rug pad, which I'm not looking forward to if that's the case. If that's the case, if I have to get a rug pad, I think I would probably wait until I get a new desk. If I get a new desk, I'm thinking about getting a new desk. I want one that's slightly deeper. I don't mind the width. I think the width is like 55, but the depth is like 25, and I would love like a 30. And also I would love to get a standing desk. Like, that would be goals, is to get a standing desk. So if I have to get a rug pad, I would probably take care of it if I got like a new furniture item. But yeah, moving those bookshelves would be probably the biggest pain, because they are mounted to the walls. Anyhow, that's my problem with my rug. I thought I'd just show y'all since I mentioned it in the car. Yeah, so now I'm going to decide what book I want to read. So see y'all in a bit. Sounds like the beginning of a romance novel, or else maybe a murder mystery. Either one is far better than staying in London and getting lonely and depressed. Preach. Preach, homegirl, preach. Okay, y'all, so I just finished The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson, a quick little under 100 pages novella. I personally actually really enjoyed this book. I had a great time with it. I thought the pacing was perfect. I thought the twists and turns it took were so interesting. I did read some of the reviews after I read it, and apparently I'm the only one who thought it was really good. But up next, I really want to finish a bingo card. I really want to finish a bingo card, and I'm kind of hoping that all of these holiday themed books will help me knock out the bingo card. I do want to keep reading, so I am going to crack away at The Holiday Trap. This is, I think, honestly, one of the longer books, page count wise, that's on my TBR this month, but it is, I think, a little rom-com. So typically for me, those are pretty quick to read through. I could probably read this in a day, maybe two, to be quite frank with you. So I thought I would start this one, and then we'll just see where the winds may take us. Okay, y'all, so it is, hold on one second. It is Saturday, and let me just tell y'all. So I had 3 days off of my work week. I took Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. Thursday was a given, but I took the 2 days around Thursday off. Yesterday felt like Sunday. It's oh no, I have to go back to work. I don't have to go back to work because today's Saturday. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Yesterday was a very lazy day. Chris and I literally just watched the new series of the Barbecue Showdown on Netflix, and we literally watched that all day yesterday from start to finish. So today I want to be a little more productive. There's a lot of little chores and tasks around the house that I want to do. The big ones is I have that bookcase that I still haven't put together. I want to get that put together and then kind of get my little office space situated. That then means I'm getting rid of the 2 bookshelves that are just kind of hanging out in the bedroom. I want to go through all my stuff and get rid of stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to start with. Before I hopped on here, I was looking up books on Libby for my bingo card, and I actually found pretty much all of them on Libby. Most of them, not most of them, I would say half I put on hold. So they're currently checked out and I have to wait for them to be available. And then the other half were ready to check out right now. So 2 of the books I was able to check out was The Holiday Trap and When Christmas Comes. I technically started The Holiday Trap the other day when I told y'all I was going to start it. But I only read one singular chapter, but I'm at the point where I'm debating, do I want to listen to the audiobook or do I want to start the audiobook for When Christmas Comes? This one is a little shorter, clearly, but sometimes you cannot judge a book by its size. It's all about the contents and how quickly the contents read. I think I'm going to listen to The Holiday Trap and work on building my bookshelf. I'm going to build it outside because it's actually nice and sunny out currently. It's supposed to be rainy today, so let's go do that. And that is why you lock your tools, kids. I changed my shirt so I don't get a farmer's tan, and I can't find my sunglasses. So that's fantastic. Isn't it, Echo? Yeah. Anyways, let's get cracking on this bookshelf, shall we? Okay, so I know that one of the qualms a lot of people have with IKEA is the instruction manual itself, but to be quite frank, and not to be like a total a-hole to everyone who complains about the instruction manual, like it literally gives you picture by picture instructions, and I don't understand, like, as long as you know what piece to put where, it shouldn't be that difficult. The qualm I have with IKEA is apparently with their food, because I still haven't made any of the stuff I got from their market section, because it's like, okay, I need to put the mashed potatoes in a pot for 9 minutes, but like, anything else? Do I just dump the contents in the bag into a pot and call it a day? That I have a qualm with. The food one, that's ridiculous. But I find that most of their furniture instructions are pretty simple to figure out. I don't know. I'm a tinkerer. I love like just putzing with things and trying to figure it out on my own. So maybe my brain just works different. Maybe I'm different. Oh my God, gross. Okay, anyways. I have officially, the holiday trap is alternating perspective. So we have our two main characters, Greta and Truman. And I think this is going to be a really, really cute, fun book. Greta's issue is that she is a lesbian living in Maine. Her family is just like, oh, because there's no other lesbians in town, like, why don't you just date a man? They aren't like unaccepting of her, but they're just like, circumstances. We just want you to be happy. Blah, 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 blah. Her chapter ends with her talking to her friend, being like, I just need to get out of town, but I have like all my plants. Like, no one can come and take care of my plants. You literally have to live here to take care of all my plants. And then we switch to Truman's side, where he is living in New Orleans and he is going to his boyfriend's house. He's been with his boyfriend for a year, so in love. He's going to go surprise his boyfriend. But when he goes to surprise him, he notices another man in the house. Not only another man being all cutesy wootsy with his boyfriend, but a small child. So yeah, Truman's boyfriend was cheating on his husband with Truman. So Truman's like, oh my God, I'm the laughing stock of town. They both have a friend, Ramona, in common. And she is like, hey, why don't you guys just swap houses? Because you both want to get out of town. So that is where I kind of left off, is them texting each other, being like, so do you want to do this? And they're like, yep, absolutely. We're doing this. It's so cute. It's so fun. And the audiobook is actually really enjoyable. I was really concerned about the audiobook being, but there are two narrators for the alternating sides, which I love. And so far, pretty good. Okay, y'all. So the bookcase is done. Obviously, I still have to install the shelves and put it in its spot, but I'm gonna wait for Mr. Van to wake up before I do that. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna make myself a fun little morning drink. Get eye boogers. Get eye boogers all in your eyes. How are you still shedding, Echo? I don't get it. Every time I think you're done, I find another tuft. Another tuft. Why am I out of breath? So, I was watching a Cozy K video, and she has inspired me to tackle my clothes, since that's one of the things I wanted to go through anyways. So, I am going to first switch out the bookcases, get that little situation situated, and then I will tackle the closet. Okay, so one of the issues I was telling you guys about was that my rug that I have in here ripples. It's all nice and ripply right now. So I'm hoping that by taking this and kind of setting it up over there and then just pushing it across the ground into its spot will take care of some of that rippling and make the rug more taut. That's my hope and prayer. I think that helped. I don't know. Only time will tell. And honestly, I think the crinkling would be solved by getting a rug pad, but it's gonna be my last resort is getting the rug pad. Also, one final note. I didn't realize how much of a difference there was in size between these two bookshelves. I knew this one was going to be wider, which is the main reason I wanted it. Also, again, it matches the other bookcases I recently purchased, but I had no idea how much taller it was. Anyways, back to setting everything up. Okay, y'all. I have my little chai latte. What am I doing? What am I saying? I pulled out all my clothes from my closet because my human is still sleeping, but I wanted to tackle my clothes today. As you can see, there's quite a bit of them. I also pulled out my shoes because there's a bunch of shoes in there that I could definitely get rid of. We're gonna be going through our clothes and watching a bunch of YouTube videos and doing laundry today. That's the plan. Let's start tackling these clothes. Oh, also, I totally forgot. I have a video that's coming out this Thursday, and I haven't done anything for it. I haven't read the book for it. I haven't obviously filmed anything for it. I mean, I filmed the intro, so at least the intro's done, but I haven't read the book, and I need to like do my review of the book and also then edit that video. And that's supposed to come out on Thursday. By the time you're seeing this vlog, the video will already be up. But July 11th, it is currently July 7th. Today's the 7th. And on July 11th, I'm supposed to have a Can You Judge a Book by Its Cover video posted. And I haven't done anything for it. So I gotta crack away. It's Sunday. I think we can do it. I just haven't done anything for it. And then I have another book I have to read pretty much right after that for another Can You Judge a Book by Its Cover this month. I'm trying to do 2 a month. So Godspeed. We have a lot of stuff to get through. These are the items I'm getting rid of. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna get rid of more jeans because I thought I had a bunch of, not just jeans, but pants in general that didn't fit me properly. But looking through them, they're all in my size currently. Also, I don't like gray wash jeans anymore. Honestly, I just don't like hoodies anymore. And this is a small. So if I were to keep a hooded cropped Marine Corps sweatshirt, it at minimum would have to be a medium. So I don't know why I ever bought this, to be frank. Is it nice and soft and comfy and warm during the winter? Absolutely. But I hate the collar on it. Like, it's always just big and puffy right around my face. I do like the t-shirt itself, like the size and fit of the t-shirt I love. I'm just not a fan of the design on it anymore. So I got this when I worked a Pacifico event at the US Ski Open. The biggest thing is I don't like the texture of it anymore. When it was brand new, it was a really nice texture, but now it's just kind of like getting that scratchy phase of this type of material. I actually really love this style, but I just don't like that it's white. It has stains all over it now at this point. I like it in theory. I just literally have never used it. So yeah, it's just, the style is very much a men's button-up made out of denim material. The inside is actually still so nice and so soft. But again, it's that like fleece material on the outside that is just, it doesn't look good on the outside. Like, I like it, but I don't like it. 90% of the time my boobs are falling out of it. So really soft, and I love it in theory. I love this sweater in theory. I love the big puffy sleeves down here. The one thing that makes me go, I hate this sweater, is this neck collar piece right here. I hate this part right here, but everything else about it, I'm like, I love this so much. I literally bought this, I think week 3 into the shutdown of everything. And I pretty much lived in this hoodie throughout all of shutdown until I moved from New Hampshire back to Minnesota. Honestly, I just want an all black wardrobe. These pants, I actually love these pants. I just hate that I bought them in this tan color. I got it for a friend's wedding. I wore it for my friend's wedding, and I just haven't touched it since. I used to live it all the time, but now it has a hole in the butt. This is my problem. No, Kayla, you're getting rid of it. I can still wear it. It's fine. But no, Kayla, it's itchy and uncomfortable. I barely fit into it when I first purchased it from her. So I'm definitely not fitting in it now. It's just itchy at this point. Why did I buy a plain white? You can't trust Kayla with white anything. It will get stained. They're cute, but I don't foresee myself wearing them anytime soon. I am currently working on The Adversary by Michael Crummy. And boy, let me tell y'all, this is not what I thought it was. I thought this was going to be like some gnarly thriller. This is turning into more of just, I don't know, like a literary fiction situation. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the typical kind of book I would go for. I'm this far in currently, and we'll see. We shall see. I'm reading this for a Can You Judge a Book by Its Cover book. And I haven't decided yet if for those videos I want to DNF books or if I want to persuade myself to read all the books I have on that list. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm going to let myself get a little further in it. The start to it I didn't like. I wasn't a fan of how it started, but the further we get into it, the more I'm like, I'm intrigued by the story. I'm intrigued where it's going. And I feel like every chapter, like a new detail pops up and you're like, oh. I mean, at least that part's interesting. But again, it's just not a story I would typically just actively read on my own. This is ideally what I want to do for Can You Judge a Book by Its Cover. Is in an ideal world, I don't read the synopsis at all. Like I just completely read the book from start to finish and call it a day. But because this book is so different than what I had in my head, I did read the synopsis maybe like a chapter or 2 ago. And yeah, I will say like this, I feel like we got to get better at writing synopses though, because if I had read the synopsis and I started reading this book, I would say that the book doesn't align with how the synopsis is written. I think that's what I'm going for. The writing style is different. I kind of wish that synopses writing styles and the writing style of the books matched better. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys right now. Okay, so here's kind of like one of the main issues I'm having with this book so far is that it has not time hopping, but there's like timeline changes occurring throughout the chapters. I have to think of a way to better describe this for the video, but there's like time shifts throughout the different chapters. So like you'll have one person's perspective through an event, and then you will hop towards like maybe a little bit before that event occurs or halfway through that event. You'll have another person's perspective throughout whatever's occurring in town. And also we have our 2 main characters, Abe and the widow, Mrs. Keynes. And I don't really care about them. I'm more interested in the like town folk around those 2 main characters. But my issue with books that bring in multi-perspectives or just multi-characters is that oftentimes I grow most attached to like whoever I'm introduced first. And everyone we've been introduced to right off the bat has been killed off, aside from Abe and the widow, Mrs. Kane. So I'm kind of getting bored. Like, this is the thing that happens is like I start getting bored and then something interesting happens. And it's like, okay, do I keep listening or do I keep like going through these roller coasters of boredom for something interesting to happen? I think it's 4 more chapters and then I'll be at the halfway mark. And if in 4 more chapters / the halfway mark, if I'm still like feeling as though I'm on a roller coaster of, oh, this is interesting, now I'm bored. Oh, this is interesting, now I'm bored. Then I think I'll DNF it. But I don't know, a part of me really wants to commit to the whole book so I can have like a full perspective of my thoughts and opinions for Can You Judge a Book by Its Cover? But I feel like that is kind of the opposite of this experiment, right? Like, you pick a book solely based on a cover. What's your experience going to be with it? So maybe actually, you know what? Maybe I will allow myself to DNF books. I think, though, I do want to at least, like, I do have to get to the halfway point. I think that's going to be my rule. Like, if I'm DNFing books for Can You Judge a Book by Its Cover, I have to get to at least the halfway point. We shall see. Anyways, I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to get back to reading. Okay. Why am I wearing sunglasses? Good question. I don't know. I stopped listening to this a while ago just because I don't know if you guys ever have this. Do you guys ever like listen to an audiobook where if the story is engaging, it can kind of cut through everything? Like, you're still being a productive person, responding to emails, typing up stuff, working on projects, but you're also still consuming the audiobook itself, like if it's actually good and engaging. Because that's me. But if something like an audiobook isn't like piquing my interest at all, it's so easy for me to like kind of just shut it off and have it be background noise. And that is what was happening with The Adversary. And then like something would happen that was interesting. We were going through our little roller coaster again. And I'd be like, wait, what? What? So, I don't know. A part of me is like, I'm halfway through. So I just should suck it up and like listen to the rest of it. Again, it kind of like time hops throughout the timeline. Like, you'd get one perspective of timeline and then it's like something else happens. It's like, it's interesting in how it's laid out. Like, it almost forces you, it's like almost acknowledging that it's boring and it's trying to force you to continue reading it. Because you kind of want to be like, wait, well, I know this happened, but like, what about this? And then like what just happened was this kid, he had a branding on his hand. And I think he was like a slave, or I'm assuming a slave. And so he had a branding on his hand and he's like, I just wish I could get rid of it. And so like the people he's now with, they're like, well, we know a way to get rid of it. But it's pretty much just like a branding over the branding. But they mentioned that the branding they did over the branding was a letter, but they didn't say like what letter was branded on him. They pretty much were like, yeah, once like, you know, it's not a giant wound anymore, it will it'll just like be noise, like it'll just be a scarring on your hand and it won't be anything specific. But I'm intrigued to know like if that second branding on his hand is going to come into play, and if we're going to learn, is he now technically flagged as someone else's property? That's like just what happened in the book. And again, like moments like that happen and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But then there's like just a lot of white noise in the background where I'm like, I couldn't care less about this book. So I don't know. I don't know anymore what I want to do with this book. The funny thing is you guys are seeing this after I've already released this video. So this is me just trying to process how I feel about the book so I can speak to it more succinctly in the Can You Judge a Book by Its Cover video. It's that toasty one out today. Thankfully, it was like raining just now. It's not even like hot, it's just humid. You know what I mean? Okay, y'all. I think I have officially decided to DNF The Adversary. I'm past the 50% mark at this point. I don't foresee it like getting any better. We're just gonna let her go. I'm gonna try and write out my thoughts and opinions on the book. And then I'm going to record the video tomorrow, probably edit it tomorrow, My only qualm with like the fact that I didn't finish the book is I know it's going to be a short video. And it's not like that's the end of the world, you know, short videos happen, but maybe you guys like shorter videos. I'm so used to having like at least 20-minute long videos, 20 plus minute videos, that having a video that's like probably going to be under 10 minutes. Oh well. I am excited though, because I already have lined up my next book for Can You Judge a Book by Its Cover? And I have a hunch, just a hunch, that I'm gonna like that one. Anywhoozle, we are heading to Goodwill to drop off all that stuff that we tore out of my closets yesterday. Then after Goodwill, I'm gonna swing by. I kind of told Chris that I was gonna get Chipotle, but he's not gonna be home for like another 2-3 hours. So I don't know if I want to get Chipotle or just make something. I have to swing by Walmart to pick up food for the girls. So I'm thinking maybe I just grab something from Walmart to make. I don't know. There's so many options, y'all. The funny thing is, like, Chipotle is literally right next to Goodwill. So it's not like I'm going out of my way to go to Chipotle. It's just that it's gonna be cold by the time he gets home. Wasn't a very chatty Kathy. To Chipotle. I might as well just pick it up. I'm literally right here. Okay, y'all. We are officially home. Went to Goodwill. Got my Chipotle. Stopped at UPS to return an Amazon purchase. Went to Walmart to get the girls dog food. And thankfully remembered we're actually out of garbage bags. So I picked up some garbage bags. But also, can someone like tell me why garbage bags are so friggin' expensive? It's like $11 for 40 garbage bags. A little ridiculous if you ask me. After Walmart, I went to the library to drop off some books, and then I perused a little bit, and I did find a couple books that actually I've been eyeballing. One of them I know for sure I want to buy. I'm just waiting for the paperback version, and that is What Feasts at Night. I want to get the paperback version of this because I have the paperback version of What Moves the Dead. Now I'm kind of debating if I should get the hardcover of What Moves the Dead and then just get the hardcover of What Feasts at Night, because I have the hardcover of A House with Good Bones, all by T. Kingfisher, by the way, if you don't know. Gotta do some mulling over that one, but picked this up at the library. Super short one. Probably can knock this out in a day, maybe a day and a half. And then I also found Youth Juice. I've seen a few people talk about this, I think, in new release videos earlier this year. And if I recall correctly, it sounded interesting, but let's just read the synopsis together, shall we? From Sophia's first day on the storytelling team at Hebe, a luxury skincare wellness company based in New York's trendy Soho neighborhood, it's clear something is deeply amiss, but Sophia, pushing 30, has plenty of skeletons in her closet next to the designer knockoffs and doesn't care. Though she leads an outwardly charmed life, she aches for a deeper meaning to her flat existence and a cure for her brutal nail-biting habit. She finds it all and more at Hebe, and with Tree Whitestone, Hebe's charismatic founder and CEO, soon, I feel like that sentence made no sense how I read it. Soon, Sophia is addicted to her Hebe lifestyle, especially Youth Juice, the fatty, soothing moisturizer Tree has asked Sophia to test. But when cracks in Hebe's infrastructure start to worsen and Sophia learns the gruesome secret ingredient at the heart of youth juice, she has to decide how far she's willing to go to stay beautiful forever. Glittering in ominous flashes of Sophia's coming-of-age story, former beauty editor E.K. Satou's horror debut is as incisive as it is stomach-churning in its portrayal of all-consuming female friendship and the beauties industry's short attention span. Youth Juice does to skincare influencers what Bret Easton Ellis did to yuppies. You'll never moisturize the same way again. Okay, this actually reminds me there was a podcast I was listening to, and it was like more of a storytelling podcast. It wasn't like two people chit-chatting. I'll have to find the podcast. I remember who the narrator is. I remember her in the sense that I know who the actress is. I don't remember her by name, though. This is the podcast, and this is the specific episode that this book reminds me of. So I'll also link that episode down in the description below, because first off, that podcast was so... I actually have to return to the podcast. I think I only listened to 3 episodes. Each episode is like a different story, but it's just fascinating. It reminds me of Radio Rental that Rainn Wilson did with Lindsay Payne. But yeah, Youth Juice, the book, reminds me a lot of kind of this story in the podcast episode. So I'm intrigued to see what the secret ingredient is, because let me tell you, the secret ingredient in that podcast was interesting, to say the least. Hey, I'm in my filming setup because I just finished filming. I actually really like this lighting. I feel like the past few videos I've made, this lighting has been god-awful. First off, I apologize for that. But I think the lighting on this looks pretty good if I do say so myself. By the way, that is a dirty chai. I forgot how much I loved like iced dirty chais. Anyways, I just filmed the Adversary video, and I need to start like scripting out these a little bit more. Start putting a little more effort into like my talking points at least, because I feel like that was a little chaotic, but it's also just how I felt about the books. Anywhoozle, that'll be up already, so go check it out if you like. I do still like that cover though. It's a really pretty cover. I was listening to The Holiday Trap this morning by Roan Parrish, and it's happened, y'all. It's happened. First off, I love this book. I like am giggling every 5 seconds, I feel like. But The Holiday Trap, it has duo perspectives. So it's about these 2 characters. There's Truman and there is Greta. And Greta's from Maine. Truman's from New Orleans. And they both have things that happen on right for the holiday season. They also have a friend in common. And that friend was like, you guys are both just telling me how much your life sucks and you just need to get out of town. So why don't you guys just like swap towns? So that's what they do. They literally swap towns. Like The Parent Trap. Oh my god, I just got that. The Holiday Trap. Like The Parent Trap. I'll stay at your place for a month. You stay at my place for a month. And they're just living their lives in these new places. And what I have feared would happen with the dual perspective book is starting to happen with this one. Most of the dual perspective books I've read in this year have been phenomenal. I've actually really enjoyed them. But with this one, I like Truman. Greta's all right. I love Greta's side characters. Her side characters, love them so much. Love them. Greta herself, I'm not gonna say I can't stand her, but there's something about her that I'm not vibing with. I'm thinking when I do finish this, we're gonna head into When Christmas Comes by Andrew Clavin. We might be wrapping up this vlog with When Christmas Comes. I don't know how long this vlog is gonna go for. So far it's like been a week. It might be longer than a week. This might be a stupid long vlog. I have so much footage and so many talking head moments. We'll see. I'm literally like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know the books. This is why I love Truman so much. I'm like drooling right now. It's gonna be a bummer if I'm like cackling away and you guys are like, this is dumb, Kayla. Okay. Composure. First off, love Truman. Still not a fan of Greta. Again, I love Greta's side characters, but Greta herself as a character, not a fan. Truman, though. Okay, so Truman is like obsessed with this series written by an author called Agatha Turkle, I think is her name. And he's obsessed with her. That's one of the things he's like, oh, I'll like definitely will go to Maine because apparently like she's from Maine and that's the only thing people really know about her. Truman is in this cave with Ash, his love interest, and Ash is just like, no, yeah, this is just like a cave that we would go to and like grew up in, and it's just the cave we would always go to. Truman is under the belief and assumption that Agatha Tark grew up literally in this island called Owl Island in Maine, because there's just things that is like, this looks really similar to a thing that was referenced in her book. And they go to the cave and he's like, oh my god, this is literally like the cave mentioned in one of her books. To this point, Truman hasn't told Ash that he likes him. He's just like been hanging out and just kind of recently realized like, oh my god, I actually like him. The reason I am cackling my little face off is because he just like blurts it out. They're like having this conversation. He's just like, I like you. It doesn't scream it, but pretty much just like abruptly tells him that he likes him. And Ash is like, my dude, I like you too. And he's like, what? And he's like, isn't it obvious? And he's like, no, it's not obvious. And then Ash is like, mentions how he wants to kiss him or something. It's a whole thing. I'm not gonna go into it. It's like too much backstory. But pretty much he's like, I want to kiss you now. And then he's like, how is this situation romantic? Ash goes on to explain, like, how it's romantic. And Truman's like, well, I mean, I guess if you explain it that way, yeah, it's super romantic. But he's, like, kind of scowling, being like, yeah, I guess if it's whatever. And then he's like, well, come here then. And then Ash is like, well, it's not romantic anymore with you scowling at me. So I think you need more context behind why this was so comical, like more character development context, I should say. But just know that Truman and Ash bring me so much joy.
Okay, damn. You know, like, it's too pretentious. I don't like it. Anyway, whatever. Two stars, two and a half stars, I guess. Because like for somebody else, this book could be amazing, but for me, I was like, please get me out of here. Like I should not have been reading this book for as long as I was.
I'm still reading The Holiday Trap. Haven't gotten very far, to be quite frank with you. I think I haven't really gotten that far because we're now entering chapter 3 with Greta. I've already said my qualms with Greta, and now it's not even just like Greta that I don't like, it's like Greta's people that I don't like. Like initially I was like, okay, I can hang with this, but now I'm just like, and I think it's because they just seem so pretentious. Is that the right word? I don't know. But I can still read the room, if that makes sense. And I don't feel like the people around Greta currently are reading the room. That's just me. And then Greta herself just is kind of whiny and annoying at this point. And I just want to get back to Truman and Ash. All that to say, I am still sitting with The Holiday Trap. I hope to have it finished today, but I also said that yesterday. So who the heck knows?
This is how much I have left in this book. And ask me if I want to finish it. This started out like so promising. Like 70% of what is happening in Greta's sections, I couldn't give a singular flying fluff about. But Truman sections, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm like, I love Truman. I love Truman. But Greta, I don't know. I don't know how to properly explain it. Maybe I have to find out what happens in the end. Maybe I have to mull over it a little bit. There's something about, not the way that necessarily Greta communicates, but like the people in her sections communicate, that I'm just like, this is too something. Also, the spicy scenes, I'm convinced that they're all the same people because they all literally say like the same things while doing the deed. Ash says the same thing as Greta. Greta says the same thing as Truman. Truman says the same thing as Carice. Carice says the same thing as Ash. Anyways, I will finish the book. I will finish the book. Because we've kind of gotten to a good part of the book. Greta is going to confront her family and shit is going down. So it's getting interesting. That's my update on the holiday trap. So we got a random little summer shower. I don't know if you guys heard that lightning crack. It was literally right across at the building across from us. I was just like, it was wild. It's actually also kind of funny, like when lightning does strike, if it's really close to you, it's just a really loud like snapping sound. Anywho, I think it's dying down though. It's been cloudy all day. I don't know if the rain's gonna stick around, but it literally went from like 86 degrees and currently it's saying it's 79 degrees outside, so at least it cooled down a little bit. Fun fact, even though we're a landlocked state, it gets so humid here because we are the land of 10,000 lakes, aka 11,400 and some. So yeah, there's like a lot of bodies of water in Minnesota, so it just gets stupid humid here, which sucks. I lived in a lot of states. I think the worst humidity I've ever been in was probably South Carolina, and I lived in South Carolina from, was it April to July? I left like at the beginning of July, so I know for sure I wasn't there during like the hottest months, but I was definitely there for some pretty humid temperatures, to say the least. Some pretty hot and humid temperatures. Anyways, sorry, I went on a tangent all because of that lightning crack. This is a long ass vlog, y'all. And I have started When Christmas Comes by Andrew Clavin, and I'm very confused, to say the least. So When Christmas Comes is about a town that is rocked to its core when a army veteran pleads guilty to killing his girlfriend, and everyone's like, nah, we know this dude. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. He couldn't have done it. But the book starts out, the prologue starts out explaining that situation of the army veteran killing his girlfriend. And then it starts with this weird, like, recollection sequence that goes on for quite some time. I'm like probably halfway through the recollection sequence. We have no idea whose perspective this is from, but then chapter 1 starts. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm literally only 10 pages in. It's interesting so far. The audiobook is good. The audiobook is giving like old school detective vibes, like film noir old school detective vibes. So I like that. I'm not mad at it. I'm just very intrigued to see where we're going with When Christmas Comes. Okay, first and foremost, When Christmas Comes, really good so far. I've been digging it. I know last we left, I was like, I don't really know what's going on here. I do. The little kind of like story at the beginning was our main character talking to his therapist. I've just been like intaking all the information because, you know, it's a detective mystery book. So just trying to, you know, pinpoint things together on my own. Got my first chuckle and I was all like, Was that like a stutter? Was that a skip? Is this like a CD and a Discman that's like skipping because you jostled it? No, there. Okay, he's a federal agent working undercover, and his name is Stan Stankowski. So imagine not like seeing the nickname quotes because it's Stankowski. So imagine just like listening to the audiobook and all you hear is Stankowski, and you're just like, oh, wait, what? He could see Stankowski standing. Come on. Like most undercover agents, Stankowski was approximately 100% out of his ever-loving mind. That was my little chuckle of the day for when Christmas comes. And all I have to say, y'all, is I know I just read you a sequence of events that included a Mr. Santa Claus. However, so far this book, like the only thing Christmassy about it is that it takes place around Christmas time. Our main character, his last name's Winter, which is phenomenal. I love that for him. Cameron Winter. He's referred to as Winter a lot, so I don't remember his first name. Talking to his therapist, he does talk about the Christmas time and how he has spent Christmas most of his like childhood. So aside from the therapy sessions of him referring back to how his Christmas time was spent, and then the fact that this is currently occurring in the Christmas season, the only thing Christmassy about it. So don't let this cute little Christmassy cover fool you. Not much Christmas oriented aside from the timeline. I thought it would be fun to do just a wrap up to this video because I was editing the video this morning, and let's just say this is gonna be a really, really, really long video. This is a really long video. I'm sorry. Holy smokes. I've been editing the video in like a daily segments. I didn't even look at how long it had gotten to. This is definitely easily an hour-long vlog. So, longest video on my channel. High fives all around, and a big ol' round of applause for everyone who has made it to this point. I did want to kind of wrap up this vlog though with a little catch up on the books that I did finish that I didn't tell you guys I finished. So yesterday I finished When Christmas Comes. This was so good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There's some like a little twisty twist happened, and I was like, I know what's happening. I know what's happening. And the thing that I thought would happen happened. Which honestly, I know some people don't like when they can guess what's gonna happen. I love when I guess correctly. I'm like, yes! But I did call one of the plot twists. There was another plot twist after the plot twist that I did not see coming, so that was fun. But this was such a good book. This is a part of the Cameron Winter little series. There's 3 Cameron Winter books, so I'm definitely going to be picking up this one for sure to add to my personal library. I love how I'm doing this and you guys are literally seeing just a glare. I might check out the other 2, see if I like them, and then also add those to my ever-growing collection, but this was an enjoyable read. And again, as I noted earlier in the video, while it's set in wintertime and Christmas time, there's nothing really Christmassy about it, so easy read to take on during the middle of the year. And then yesterday I started All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This was supposed to be a book that I was technically supposed to read in a day, and I would have, but then I started a project for work and I didn't get to finish it. So I did finish this today. I easily could have finished this in one day though. But I finished this today, and honestly, I liked the murder bot. He was enjoyable and he was fun. But I would say the overall story in this one, I couldn't honestly tell you what happened. I just remember I laughed, I chuckled. The narration from the murder bot is phenomenal. So if you just need like a fun little book to listen to or read, this is it. I would highly recommend listening to it. I thought the narrator on the audiobook was really fun. But I'll definitely be checking out more of the Murderbot Diaries. I've heard that some books are hits, some books are misses, so maybe this was just like and in between. I do have a couple other books that I'm going to be tackling later this week, but that is going to be a story for another day. With that, y'all, again, thank you so much if you watched this entire vlog and if you made it to the very end. I appreciate y'all so very, very much. Until then, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.